Have you ever stopped to think about why a simple touch can completely change the way a woman reacts to you? Some men, with just a few seconds of contact, can spark an intense fire inside her. Others, even with effort and affection, can't get past a lukewarm, almost indifferent response. This doesn't happen by accident. There's a secret behind the way your fingers move, the rhythm you choose, and above all, the attention you put into that moment. It's a silent art that separates an ordinary touch from an unforgettable one. Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Carter, urologist and sexologist with more than 20 years of experience. Over the course of my career, I've discovered that most men were never actually taught how to touch a woman the right way, and it's not their fault. The truth is, no one talks about it. That's why today I'm going to teach you, clearly, practically, and without wasting time, how to touch a woman in a way that truly awakens pleasure, confidence, and desire. And for those who want to take this experience to the next level, I've prepared a special recommendation, an aphrodisiac intimate gel designed to intensify sensations and unlock even deeper layers of pleasure. The link to check it out is in the first pinned comment. If this is the kind of knowledge you've been looking for, make sure to subscribe to this channel right now, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you step by step how to transform not only your partner's experience, but also your own confidence and security in intimacy. And now let's get into the point where most men fail without even realizing it, the way they start the touch. The most common mistake is believing that intensity equals pleasure. Many begin in a rushed way, applying too much pressure or repeating the same mechanical movement over and over, without rhythm and without paying attention to her reactions. The result? Sensitivity drops, discomfort rises, and in just a few seconds, what should have been pleasure turns into silent disappointment. The problem is that most men were never taught how to distinguish between stimulation and friction. While they believe they are pleasing her, in reality, they're only insisting on a movement that, from her perspective, feels clumsy or even invasive. That's why so many women in consultations with me admit they pretend to enjoy it just to avoid hurting their partner's feelings. It's not that they don't feel desire, it's that the path chosen doesn't awaken the right response in their body. The truth is that female manual stimulation requires a completely different logic from what most men are used to applying to their own bodies. While men often seek speed to reach orgasm, a woman's body responds much better to slow progression, growing rhythm, and subtle variations. When that isn't respected, her pleasure simply doesn't have the time it needs to build fully. And here's the crucial point. This seemingly small mistake can destroy the couple's confidence in the long run. It's not just about technique. It's about her perception that you don't know or don't care about what truly awakens pleasure in her body. But the good news is that this can be reversed quickly. And in the next chapter, I'll show you, step by step, how to apply the correct touch to completely transform her response. Now that you understand the main mistake, it's time to learn the right path. Manual touch that truly awakens pleasure does not start with speed or pressure. It begins with preparation. The first step is to create an environment where she feels relaxed, safe, and receptive. This may seem like a small detail, but it's what prepares both her body and her mind to receive every touch in a much more intense way. The second step is to always start gently. Use light movements, exploring the areas around before going straight to the center. This warm-up not only builds anticipation, but also activates nerve endings that amplify the sensitivity of the clitoris. Think of it like a circle slowly closing in. You begin on the outside, expand the connection, and gradually guide her attention to the center of the experience. The third step is to vary rhythm and pressure. The female body does not respond well to monotony. Identical, repetitive movements quickly lose their effect. The key is to alternate between circular motions, straight strokes, and brief pauses. And those pauses are powerful because they make her brain anticipate the next touch, increasing arousal. And here's a crucial detail. Watch her signals. Her breathing getting faster, her body moving closer to your hand, the sound of her moans. All of these are ways her body speaks to you. Once you learn to read these responses, you will never again doubt whether you're on the right track. If this content is already helping you, hit the like button because it allows me to bring much more valuable content like this. And I want to know, have you ever had the courage to ask your partner directly how she prefers to be touched? Write it down in the comments, because that one simple question could completely change the way you see intimacy. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal a secret even more important than the technique itself. The one thing that separates a correct touch from the kind of touch that truly drives a woman wild. Up until now, you've learned how to avoid the most common mistakes and discovered a practical step-by-step for getting the touch right. But there's a secret that goes far beyond technique: connection. The truth is, many times it's not the movement itself that creates pleasure, but the way it's felt emotionally. When a woman senses she's being touched with attention, presence, and respect, her body responds far more intensely. What do I mean by that? That simply repeating a formula isn't enough. Two men can perform the exact same movement, but while one creates discomfort, the other provokes deep pleasure. The difference lies in how each one reads her body's signals and responds in real time. A louder moan might be the sign that you've found the right rhythm. Slower breathing could mean she needs more gentleness. An involuntary movement of the hips is her body's way of asking you to keep going exactly as you are. Connection happens when you stop acting alone and start moving in rhythm with her. And here's an essential point. No two women are the same. Every partner has her own preferences, and accepting this truth is liberating. The mistake many men make is believing there's a universal map of pleasure that works for all. In reality, the map is personalized, and the real secret lies in learning to read that map together with her. That's where the difference is born between a mechanical experience and a truly memorable one. The renowned researcher Cher Height once wrote in her studies that female pleasure doesn't depend only on technique, but on the quality of attention she receives. In other words, more important than knowing how is showing how much you care. And when that happens, a woman not only experiences pleasure more quickly, but also forms a lasting emotional bond with you. Now, let me reveal what I call the pleasure map, a set of key points that, when stimulated together, exponentially increase the intensity of her experience. This is the moment when touch stops being purely physical and becomes something unforgettable. We've reached a crucial understanding. Female pleasure is not concentrated in a single spot. The clitoris is, without question, the most sensitive area, but reducing it to a button to be pressed is a mistake. Science has already shown that it's only the visible tip of a much larger structure, with roots extending internally and connecting to other erogenous zones. When a man discovers this map and learns to explore it as a whole, the result is a dramatic increase in her sexual response. This map begins with the area surrounding the clitoris, known as the external vulvar region. Gentle, circular movements here activate a high concentration of nerve endings. The second strategic point is the inner thighs, which act as a kind of waiting room for pleasure, creating anticipation and warming up her body even more. The third point is the breasts and nipples. When stimulated in harmony with manual touch, they create a powerful neurochemical synchronization, releasing oxytocin, the hormone of connection. Another detail often overlooked is the nape of the neck and the area behind the ears. These seemingly subtle points are connected to nerve fibers that, when stimulated, intensify sensory perception throughout the body. By combining these secondary stimuli with direct clitoral touch, you create a layered pleasure effect, where each sensation builds upon the previous one, leading her to a much more powerful orgasm. And here's the key. It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's about building a journey, alternating zones, varying intensity, and using strategic pauses keep her body in a state of continuous anticipation. It's as if every touch is sending a signal to her brain saying, "Get ready. The best is yet to come." When a man learns to combine technique, connection, and attention, he not only elevates his partner's pleasure, but also strengthens his own confidence and the couple's intimacy. It's not just about satisfaction. It's about creating a bond that makes the relationship grow in every area. And before we close, just a quick reminder. In the first pinned comment, you'll find all the links with the recommendations I've prepared for you. Don't forget to check them out after the video. If this content made sense to you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because in the next videos, I'll reveal even deeper techniques, always based on science and real practice. And don't forget, share this video with someone you know could benefit from this information. Knowledge only has real value when it's put into practice, and your partner will feel the difference. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.